Hey guys, Miss Charlie here with the Get Ready With Me. I am out of town right now. I'm in Columbus for OhioCon, which is like a Comic-Con, cosplay, anime, stuff like that, and gaming. Me and my sons come here every year. I've been bringing my sons here since they were little, so we come every year. So my sons are much older now, 19 and almost 24, so we still come every year. So I thought I'd do a video showing me getting ready for the day. It's Saturday. We've been here since yesterday, Friday, and I did do a video of what's in my makeup bag, what I packed with me to take. So if that video is not already up, I will link it below, but if you're seeing this first, and you'll probably see that later. But I'm just gonna show you what I'm using, and we're just gonna chit chat or whatnot. So I already did my lips. I did my lip scrub, put my lip mask on. Everything I'll be using will be down in the description box. I already put on my moisturizer, my eye cream, and my primer. So that's all done. So now I'm gonna try to conceal some of this darkness, and then I also do around my mouth and whatnot. And I already have my concealer mixed up and ready to go, and I have my brushes here in the little water cups that they give you in the hotel. So I'm gonna just go ahead and use my mirror, and I got a mirror behind me too, to dab some on. And I do concealer before and after foundation, and if the lighting's off, I apologize, because I'm in a hotel, you know, the lighting is not that great. And go around here, and then I go in with my finger. Warmth of your finger does really make a difference with concealer, I think. Of course, I have some darkness that, you know, I don't want to put too much on and make it cakey. I just want to tone it down a little bit. I don't necessarily want it to disappear. I just want to tone it down some, you know. But I'm just patting that in. And yesterday, before we were getting ready to leave that morning, we had some outages for our internet because we had some storms come through on Thursday, and I guess it knocked out some power and some, you know, some internet. So Friday, for a few hours, we didn't have any internet in the house, but like my phone, I have internet through my carrier, but you know, I didn't want to, you know, use up all my data or whatnot. But I did see a post from one of my Insta friends about another Insta friend who had passed away, and I was so shocked because she had sent me a DM for New Year's. It was either New Year's or Christmas, you know, saying, you know, Merry Christmas or Happy New Year or whatnot. I think it was New Year's. And I've done collabs with her of looks on Instagram and whatnot, and she did win one of my subscriber giveaways, and it was just very shocking to find out that she had passed away. It just shocked me. And then also, I had lost another Insta friend last year. But the person I'm speaking of, I haven't even mentioned her name, rude, is Jamie from Silver Lining Makeup. I'm just very shocked, but I guess she had some medical issues. You know, some people don't want to talk about that openly, especially with people that they don't really know, and on social media and things like that. They want to, you know, keep some things private. But one minute, you know, getting a DM from her saying, you know, Happy New Year, and then the next minute finding out that she had passed away. So my prayers go out to her family, her friends, her Insta friends. If she has children, you know, it's just very, very devastating. So I'm very sorry to hear that. But I did post about it on Instagram as well. But I did go ahead and you can see the darkness has toned down a bit around my eyeballs. So now I'm going to use my concealer, my foundation that I already have mixed up, which is the Catrice HD AMB Almay Clear Complexion. And I don't use a lot of foundation. I just like to even out my tone. I don't go for the cakey. I don't go for the heavy. So, and I don't really need it on my forehead. That's why I don't really put much there. I focus on my cheeks and my chin. But I'm not putting very much on it all. And I'm using this really tiny little brush. And it's just a nail brush that I use for carving out my brows, cleaning up my wing, things like that. So, and then I'm going to use my beauty sponge that I forgot to wet. So I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back and I got my beauty blender, but my sponge dampened. And this is the one from Sonia Kashuk. I love these sponges because they are so big and they cover a lot of ground. So you can do this, put your foundation on in like record time with this. You could also use this if you use body makeup. You could use this sponge because it's, you know, got a nice wide area. And I also use these when they start to tear. Like this one it's starting to tear a little bit. I cut them in half and I still use them. They're still fine cut in half. And just keep using them. Get your money's worth out of your makeup and your tools. So, see, it's just evening me out, and over the places where I put concealer, I'm just patting. I'm not swiping because I don't want to move the concealer, especially on my chin, because I'm going to put some more concealer here, a little bit more, because I don't want cakey under eyes, but I just want to, you know, tone it down. So I'm going to now put on a little bit more concealer. Oops. With my brush. And just tap it in those places again where it's a little bit more darker. Like that. Then I'm gonna go in with, let me just do this here real fast. Okay. So what I also did was have a little piece of plastic, and I keep that in there in my travel bag too. I also keep one at, you know, at home, or like a little plastic bag or something. And I put foundation and concealer on it. So then when I want to go in and clean up my brows and stuff with my thing, I can use this as a little mixing tray, because I mixed them both together to clean up my brows and my wing. I don't know if I'm doing a wing today, but we will see. But I got my little Real Techniques sponge here, and then I'm going to use my Dermablend powder. This is a little travel size, and then my Laura Geller Baked and Brighten, and then I take the butt end, the little flat end, and I put it in the Laura Geller, that, and then I'm going to dip it also into the Dermablend. So I have that little mixture, and that's what I use under my eye. And I immediately set, after I go in and pat this out, make sure I get into my fine line, because I am older, mature skin, and you got to get in those fine lines so that they don't cake. It doesn't sit in there and cake up. And if I need to go back in, I got my little palette here. I can just go in just a tiny bit into the area that's, you know, the darkest, and just brighten that up a little bit. again, the darkness is not totally taken away, it's just toned down, which is fine with me. Then take the flat end and I start low and then work my way up, so I'm not putting all the product on that wet concealer and then you can't blend it out. So, and then I just go around and that just tones that down so much better. And do the other side, go in with the powders, put those on the bottom of my sponge, and then I don't swipe, I'm pressing it, I swipe it on my eyelid, but under my eye I don't swipe, I just go in and pressing it in and getting into those fine lines. And again, if I need to go back in and add some more, just a little bit, I can, and make sure it's nice and blended out. And then go in with the flat end, start low, and then work my way up. And then the residual amount on the lid. So I immediately set my concealer so I don't have to worry about creasing. Then I'm gonna go in and powder my face. I don't really need to, but the Catrice and the Almay, they are pretty mattifying. The Catrice is mattifying, and the other one, it doesn't really say whether it's mattifying or glowy or natural or anything, but this, it doesn't really look like I need to powder. It looks like I've already powdered, but I still add a little bit more because my oils will come through, and since those are a little bit more mattifying when it comes through, it just looks natural. It doesn't look cakey, it doesn't look greasy. So I sprayed a little bit of facial mist on my sponge, and then on this part I'm going to go in to the Laura Geller and I'm going to put that all the way around. Then I'm going to go in with the Dermablend, do that all the way around as well, like that. And then just kind of mix it up a little bit, and then I'm just gonna press in those places. And I sweat on my brows, so I make sure those are powdered down, and then around my nose, and then down here under my chin sometimes. So I don't need much, just what's on here. And I'm just gonna go in like that. So again, when my natural oils come through, it just looks like my skin, it just melts everything in, and I don't look cakey, I don't look shiny, it just looks like my skin. So that's all I'm doing, and I'm just pressing it in. Really, really simple. Real easy, and light layers. That's the key, is I've said that in a lot of my videos. Just light layers. You don't need 16 pounds of makeup. You might do 16 steps, but you do it in light layers, and you'll be surprised. It feels weightless. It's like you don't even have on any makeup, you know. So that's done. Now I'm gonna do these brows, and brows are a whole different thing. So if you want to see me do a video on how I do my brows, I'll be glad to do that. I've done one in the past, but it's been a while. So I'm gonna do my brows, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I'm back. I got my brows on. Excuse me. This one is the one that usually gives me the most trouble. This one was giving me some sass today, but I got them somewhat talking to each other. Maybe not friends, but they're at least sitting at the same table. Maybe they'll talk. I don't know. Anyway, excuse me. I'm going to go ahead and do my contour, my bronzer, my highlight, and my blush. So I'm using the Itsbelcosmetics Bronze in Paradise palette. This is what she looks like. She runs a little red, but I can work with it. I just use a very little bit. And I'm taking this angled brush here, and I'm just going into this like 1, 2. That's it. That's all you need. And then I'm gonna just contour my nose. Just go down the sides and bring it under. And then just blend that out. Because again, you don't need much. This stuff is very pigmented. You don't need much. I just need to excuse me, bring back some dimension to your face, because after you put on powder and foundation, it just takes away the dimension a little bit. So that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at a mirror over here, so apologize, but I'm just putting that on there and blending it out just to make a little bit more dimension on my nose. Excuse me again. And then I'm gonna go into both of those with this Real Techniques brush. Again, 1 and 2. Tap off to enhance the shadow. You see that pigment? For my contour. And then I'm just gonna take the rest, the residual amount, and go up here into my hairline and just blend that out. Same on this side. Don't need much of this. You don't need much at all. And then I'm just gonna go in one more tiny time. Go down here on my jaw, under my lip, which kind of, you add a shadow there, and that kind of makes it look like your lip is a little bit more full. Again, just going under the chin and down to add some dimension. I'm not adding anything else to it. I'm just blending that out to make it look natural. And then I'm going to use this motor brush and go into these colors for my bronzer. And I'm not using much, I'm just taking it, and this is a nice fluffy brush, just to blend that out even more. Like that. And now a blush. I'm using these Ofra blushes, and I'm just gonna dip into them both, because they're very pigmented, and this just gives me a nice flush, not too bright, not too dark. It's just a nice flush to the skin. And I'm using this angled brush. This is from Morphe. It's a F4. Yeah, this is a Morphe F4 angled brush. You don't need much of Ofra blushes because they're very pigmented. So after that, then I will go in with my highlight, and I'm using the one from Becca. This is Opal. And I'm going to go in with my finger, tap some on my nose, blend it out right here in between my eyes, and blend it above the Cupid's bow and under my chin, under my lip, and I just add some light to my face. Then I'm gonna go in with this. This is a Morphe E61, and this is a highlight brush, and I'm gonna go in on the high point up here. Start at the high point. And then I'm gonna blend down and down onto my cheek, and then tap a little bit more, and then go up here. And that's just to add a little bit more light to my face. Not blinding. Sometimes I do like a blinding highlight, but sometimes I just want something just to add light. And you can make this blinding, but I'm making it just so I'm adding some light back to my face, some dimension. And I'm blending down using the side of the brush, just blending down, that it melts in, not adding anything else. and then take my blush brush and I can go in if I need to, you know, make that a little bit more seamless. But that's just adding a little bit more light to my face. And then after that, I'll go in with my facial mist and set down the powders. And my fan, what did I do with my fan? My fan. And there's my base makeup. And then we're gonna work on these eyes. All right, so I did one eye and I used the Itsbelcosmetics Fruity Realm Multichrome in Fruit Punch. I used that in the center of my halo. I used the purple that's Makeup Forever. I depotted it from one of their palettes that I'd had for a while. So I like the purple, so I got rid of the other ones, but I used that purple. That's the dark. And then underneath, I don't know if you can see it. Okay. This here, I used a Wet n Wild pencil in purple, and then I went in with the Nikkia Joy Multichrome in Galaxy, and I put that over top of the purple. So I'm getting like a blue, purple, teal, and then the Fruit Punch on top. And then in the inner corner, I went in with little damson in the inner corner. So this is the look that I'm going to show you. So let's go ahead and do the other eyeball. So I'm starting out with just some eyeshadow primer, my P. Louise little mini, and I'm just going to put a little bit of that on my eye because we're going to be out most of the day, and I just want to make sure that everything is going to be where it's supposed to be. Don't need much. It looks like it's really white on the camera, but on my skin in real life, it's not that bright. It's not that bright at all. And you only need a little bit just to, you know, have a little base there. And I'm using this is a eBay brush, and it's fluffy, so it's nice for putting your eye primer down. And then I'm gonna go into this purple color here from Makeup Forever, and I'm just gonna make a halo. I'm gonna start at the edge, and I'm patting it on first, and it's a pretty dark plum. I really like it. It's almost creamy. And this brush is a Coastal Scents, which no longer is available, but this is the Coastal Scents BRCN08, and it's a nice pointy tapered brush for this type of work, and it presses it in really nicely. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring that over here. And then connect it. I got a little bit of fallout, not much. Wipe that away. And I'm gonna go in with this, I think this is the eBay brush too. It's just a tapered little brush. And I'm gonna blend out the edge. then go in with my NYX Lid Lingerie for my blendy out colors. So I'm just going to take this, this, and this and mix it together, and that's going to blend out the rest of the edge. And this brush is a Luxie 239 Precision Shader Brush. And I'm just going to go back in with this with no extra product, just to add anything that I may have blended out too much. And then go back in with the shader brush. Now I'm going to go into the center with the P. Louise to make the halo. And this is just a flat little brush that I got from eBay in a set. And there's my halo. And then I'm going to go over that with a little bit of NYX glitter glue. My little dollar store brush that I use for glitter glue. And then I'm just going to pat that on the center, just patting, not swiping, just patting. These Multichromes are very thin, and I want them to stick. And the primer is good for sticking, but I want to make sure, you know, they stay in place. And I'm going to take my little sponge applicator, put it in there and tap it off, and then I'm just going to press it into the halo. I wish you could see the shift from the green to the cranberry to the fiery orange to the purple. Is so pretty. And again, I'm just pressing it into the glue. Hardly got any fallout because we want that glue to make it stick. You can see the shift a little bit there. I'm gonna turn this light off right here and see if you can see it. Oh yeah, there we go. You can see that shift. It's so freaking pretty. So now I'm going to blend out the edges, and I'm going to use the purple again, dip it in. I'm going to use a different brush so I don't contaminate the other one with the Multichrome. So I'm just going to pat around the edges to blend it. Start on this edge, and then I'm going to wipe it off, and then go back in and just go around the halo to blend in that edge so it's not so harsh. Wipe it off, go back in, press it on the edge. And this is an old Wet n Wild brush that I've had forever, when they used to be like $1, $2. I think they still are, the white handled ones. I've had this for probably 10 years, and there's nothing wrong with it. I use it all the time. I have a couple of them. But yeah, so I'm just pressing that into the edge, and you can see how it's just coming together a little bit more seamless. Now with the Wet n Wild pencil, we're going to put that on the bottom lash line. I always have to put a pencil or a cream shadow or something on my bottom lash line, because powders don't stick there, it will fade. So this is a nice base to keep it there. So I just put that down. And then I'm gonna go into this color here from Nikkia Joy. Looks blue to you. I don't know if you can see the purple, teal, little fuchsia in there. And I'm just gonna use this little brush. This is another little Wet n Wild brush. It's just a little small little pencil brush. And then I'm just gonna put that, tap it in on top of that liner. And that gives me some tackiness for this to stay. And you don't need much, just enough to tap it on. Like that. Just like that. And you can see the shift a little bit there. Then in the inner corner, I'm going to go back into my NYX glitter glue, and I have it just on the back of my hand. And then I'm going to just tap that on the inner corner. Just tap it in. Don't need much, just enough again for it to stick. And then go in with my little Morphe. Is this no, this is a Coastal Scents little flat top shader brush. And I'm gonna go into, what was the color again? Little Damson. And that's gonna go in my inner corner. And just press. I don't know if you can see the shift on that one though, because it's green and cranberry, and yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I'll try to get the shifts as best as I can, but you know how multichromes are on camera. They do not come off the same way as they do in person. But that is basically the look. So I'm going to go ahead and do my upper waterline in black, and then I'm going to take a mix of foundation and concealer and clean up this edge. I'm not doing a wing, and I'll be right back. Alright, so here's my look. Again, I wish you could see the shifts on these. It's so pretty. Check my Instagram to see if I have better pictures for you so you can see the shifts. Try to turn this one off so you can see anything. Not really. Not really. I mean, you can see it a little bit there, a little bit. But I'm going to now add some to my lips, because I did not bring a lipstick or anything like that with me. I just brought my lip balm and my lip mask, and I use Multichromes on my lips all the time. So, and I've seen that video going viral with the Multichrome lipstick with Nikki Tutorials and some other person. Just use Multichromes that you have. You don't have to buy an extra Multichrome lipstick. Just use what you have. So I'm gonna use, I think I'm going to use Fruit Punch on my lips. And I just take a stiff flat brush. This is a stiff flat brush. This is from Wet n Wild. This is a smudger brush, I think. Not Wet n Wild, this is from e.l.f. I lied, those other brushes, they're from e.l.f., not from Wet n Wild. Lies. So I'm just gonna take it and just dip it in very lightly. I don't need much. Tap it off. I have some on there. You can kind of see the shift a little bit there, what I have on there. And then I'm just gonna tap it on my lips. I start at my bottom lip, and again, you can just put on a clear gloss and just tap it on. Don't swipe, just tap. Don't rub your lips together because that'll mess it up. You can kind of see the shift there. But that's all you do is just take it, put it on a dense flat brush, tap. And I've also noticed that since this is, you know, a powder and it's over a gloss, it's going to help set that and it will last a long time. I've noticed that, like a liquid lipstick almost. See the shift? Very, very, very simple. So I'm gonna finish this up and I'll be right back. Alright, so I finished that up. This is the look that I'll be wearing today at OhioCon. Got my Pikachu earrings on. These are from eBay. And my shirt I have on is my Boba Fett shirt. Because I'm a Star Wars person. So I'm going to be leaving here shortly because we're going to be heading back to the con and spending the day. So thanks so much for watching. I hope these tips helped you out. Multichrome lips, very easy. These multichrome pigments, I will link them all below. Check them out. If you need me to link the earrings, I can do that too. The shirt, if you like Star Wars, I can see if I can find it. I got it at my local Myers. But this is what I will be wearing today, and I thank you all so much for watching. Please subscribe, like, follow me on Instagram. I appreciate each and every one of you for coming and hanging out with me. So until our next video, have a great 2023. Have a good day, have a good weekend wherever you are. Good morning, good evening, and good night, and we'll see you in the next one.